Pro boxing fans, I am here in Riyadh without Teddy Ellis. Teddy, normally I see you here in Riyadh, but you're not here,
They
unfortunately.
don't
How
love
we,
me no more. They don't love me no more. I don't know. They don't love me no more. I love them, but I don't know. But we got spoiled. We were over there like 7 times in a year, in a year and a half. Me and my son, we were like the fixtures on the wall behind you. We were regular parts of all the Riyadh season and Riyadh fights and everything else. But you know what? I'm glad there's still you're there. I'm glad I'm glad they're still doing the fights. I'm glad that Turkey Al Sheikh is still providing, you know, bringing in the best fights and helping, just giving the fans and the sport what it really needs, and it has needed the last 2 years since he came around, and he came around and he started watering the tree. The tree was dying. The tree was dying. It was dying a little bit. The boxing tree, and he started to water it. And I was wondering, is he going to keep watering it, or is he going to stop after a while? The tree got healthier, got bigger, and sure enough, here we are going towards 3 years now. I mean, it's past 2 years now. We're going towards the third year, and he's still watering the tree. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. And you're there to bear the fruit. You're there to pick the fruit of the tree, and the fruit of the tree is what's going on tomorrow night over there. Those 4 fights, that's the fruit. So
I,
let's talk about the fruit. Go ahead. We'll talk about
let,
the fruit.
let's talk about the big boys first of all. David Benavidez and Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde, familiar with us here in the UK for Kovalev, Bertabiev. David Benavidez, we know the monster that he is and the former champion that he is. Just talk to me about this one, Teddy. How do you see this one playing out?
Great fight. I think they're all interesting. I think they're I think they're all interesting fights. I think the thing that I think the thing most interesting about that, you touched on it, they're bigger boys. There's power involved, more explosive possibilities involved, and more chances, for that kind of what everyone looks for, the home run. In baseball, it's the home run. It's not the pitching duel. It's not throwing, curveballs and keeping the guy off balance at the batter's box. It's about trying to hit a ball over the fence. And the same thing that the boxing fans, for the most of them, not all of them, but most of them want to see. They appreciate good boxing too, but they want to see the monster. They want to see the power, the explosiveness, and with the great thing about Benavidez, I love him. He's one of my favorites. The great thing about him is you don't have to wait long to see it. The bell rings and he pretty much introduces himself. He comes across the ring, and his intentions are pretty clear. He's going to outwork you. He's going to outpunch you. He's going to out-aggression you. He's going to get in your kitchen. He's going to cook up a storm, and he's going to tear your body apart. And he's going to look to break you down physically and mentally. That's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to look to do. And he's going to do it. He's going to do it like rainstorms. You don't get a lot of rainstorms over there, but he's going to do it in cloud bursts of punches, and it's fun to watch. It's fun. And he's doing it against a guy in Yarde who's an experienced guy. He's fought for the title before. He's come up short when he's gone up to that level, but he never comes up in short in his effort. He is a dangerous guy. He's an experienced guy. He's a tough guy. He's in front of you. You don't have to look for him either. He's a good puncher. He's a good puncher.
Yeah.
And the thing about Benavidez is that he will bring that offense. He will bring that full-fledged offense with both hands. But with that offense, there are moments you can catch him because he is so aggressive. He puts himself in the line of fire. He is so aggressive, where he'd throw those cloud bursts of punches, 5, 6, 7 in a row. And sometimes while he's doing it, he's in front of you too long. He's in the middle delivering maybe one or two punches longer than he should at times. And you could time him. You could time him. You could catch him. You could catch him sometimes coming in, like Morrell did a little bit, even though he outworked, he outfought Morrell at the end. But you can catch him in between shots if you have the nerve, if you have the experience, if you have the timing to do that. And Yarde's experienced enough, he's got the power to have a possibility of nailing Benavidez and hurting him in between these cloud bursts. Now, at the end of the day, who do I like? I like Benavidez. I like he's younger. I think youth will be served. I like that he's undefeated. He doesn't believe he can lose. And I like, there's no way Yarde's going to outwork him. But Yarde's chances to catch him and nail him in between one of those cloud bursts where he's throwing a shot and maybe he stays too long and you can nail him. And at the end of the day, with that being a possibility, and I see it as a possibility, I'm still going to go on the side of the younger Benavidez that he will overcome what he has to overcome. He's got a good chin. There is danger in this fight, but he has a good chin. And I think eventually he'll wear down the older Yarde or Yarde. He'll wear Yarde down. And to the body, putting the punches together with the uppercut, he throws really well on the inside, up and down. In the end, I think that Benavidez will probably get a stoppage, but it will be interesting. There is danger.
It is an interesting fight. Both men, I've just come from the workout, and both men look in good shape. David Benavidez, he has that swagger about him. He did, he had his son in there, doing a little bit of pad work with him as well, so it was quite good.
That's nice.
Another fight I do want to talk to you about, and I've just been talking to Brian Norman Sr., is Brian Norman Jr. versus Devin Haney. It's a fight on the card that's probably the most anticipated on all the card. Talk to me about this one. There's a lot of feud between the families as well. There seems to be a back and forth between the Haneys and the Normans. Devin Haney going up. How do you see this fight playing out?
Very, 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 very interesting fight. I'll get right to it.
Yeah.
Norman is so talented. He's one of the most talented kids out there. He's young. He is talented. He's confident. He's undefeated. He's so good. But he's not only talented that he's fast and he's explosive, and he is. He is that. But he's technically sound. His people have done a great job. His father, his people, everyone involved has done a great job of taking him, a talented kid, and making sure that he has the right foundation, the right technique to deliver the goods, the right technique to deliver that talent. And he's in good hands with his people. And like I said, he's a dynamite talent. He's fighting a guy that really, if you're going to get right to it, is he or isn't he damaged goods? That's where you got to start with Haney. Very talented guy, undefeated, multi-world champion. He's got the better resume. He's fought on the bigger stages. He's fought the tougher opposition so far. But is he or isn't he damaged goods since the Garcia fight? And he came back with one fight. We don't know. I don't think he's physically, I think I saw in that fight, he's not physically damaged. The question is he back mentally? In that fight, he was still a little gun shy. And you know what? It's to be expected. He's a human being. It's to be expected. maybe some of the idiots out there say, "Oh, this, that," because they don't know boxing. They didn't make a living in boxing. They haven't been in boxing their whole life. They don't have to know, and they don't know what they don't know. You go through what he went through. You have ghosts in your attic. Has he gotten rid of those ghosts? That fight, that last fight, was to get rid of those ghosts. And the question for me is, are they gone? Are they gone? Or they're still hanging around, floating around? We're going to find out. We're going to find out, but I think we found out he's physically all right. But the most important part, 75% of this that Teddy Atlas says all the time for 50 years now is mental, and it is. We're going to find out, is he okay mentally? Is he back to where he needs to be? And I'm gonna take a gamble. They've been pretty good at picking their spots. They made a mistake with Garcia, but that wasn't their mistake. That was a situation where it was, with all the craziness leading up to that fight with the social media, everything else. That was a situation where they honestly thought they were getting into a fight where they were getting free money. They did. And a lot of you guys thought that. Let's be honest. We all did. A lot of people did. Thought that Garcia wasn't fit mentally to be in the ring. The things he was doing, he was saying. We thought that it was going to be an easy night for the most part. And Haney and his father thought the same thing, that this guy's not right. We're going to walk through him. We're going to get a paycheck. We're going to go home. That didn't happen. And their approach was wrong. They came out of character. They weren't the counterpunch that night. That's what he is. They weren't the slick guy that night. That's what he is. They weren't the laser sharp, uh, you know, picking his spots, uh, throwing laser combinations, real accurate, not wasting anything, being a sharpshooter. They weren't that night. They weren't a guy using their legs to control range and setting traps. They weren't that night. They was seek and destroy guy that they're not supposed to be. They went after Garcia in a way that they normally wouldn't do because of, I think, the situation. And they got caught and they got hurt and they showed a lot of courage surviving. But I think in some ways, I know this sounds nuts, no one else would go down this road. They might have been done a favor. I think now they're back to what they are. They know what they are. They learned it. They know that they're a guy that sets combinations up on the outside, a guy who makes you miss, makes you pay, a guy who sets traps, a guy who boxes, a guy who hits you with sniper shots, a guy, that is ultimate boxer, a street science guy, not a seek and destroy marauder. And I think you're gonna get that now. And again, are there any ghosts still flying around his head? That last fight wasn't about looking good. I know what he looked like. That wasn't about looking good. That was about getting rid of the ghost. That was about finding out if he's okay for himself, not for anyone else, for himself. He needed to find out, am I okay? I think he got the answer. So I'm going to take a gamble here. I love Norman. But I'm going to take, and I love his talent, I love his approach, I love his attitude. I love the way they handle themselves. It's not over the top. I like gentlemen. I like good people. I like people that make the sport look better, the way it deserves to look. But I'm going to tell you that I'm going to say that he's going to use the experience. He's going to have learned his lesson. The ghosts are going to be gone if I'm right. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. The ghosts are going to be gone. And Norman's going to he's the guy that's still not as experienced, as good as he is, as successful as he is, but as young as he is. He's going to come after him. And I think that Haney's going to have a chance to outbox him. I think Haney's going to have a chance to live on the outside, pot shot, be here and be gone. And if he can mix offense and defense, because last fight he was too defensive. If he can mix the two the way he used to, with that defensive component to it, if he can do that, and he can get maybe an over anxious, maybe a less experienced, very talented kid that thinks he's just going to go get him. If he can get that, he's got a chance to do what he's always done before, box, and box a winning match. I think there's going to be danger all night because of Norman's explosive abilities, his hand speed, everything that goes with it. I think that's going to be there all night. But at the end of the day, I think Haney has a chance to pull off what I thought was the upset, because when I started breaking this down on my podcast a week ago, he was the underdog. And now my son tells me he's not the underdog anymore. So I don't know if I'm moving lines. I don't know. Maybe I'm moving lines. My son says, Dad, I think you're moving lines a little bit by putting out some of the stuff you put out. But I don't know. I'm kidding around. I don't think that much of myself. But I do think a lot of this card, and I do think a lot of both those fighters. I think that Haney has a chance to be, to turn the clock back, if you will, now a little bit, and be
That's
what
what
he was before that Garcia fight.